hello. Do you guys notice anything different? Today's crazy hair day! Yay! What does your guys' crazy hair look like? Mine is red and super long. Isn't that so cool? I would love to see pictures of your guys' crazy hair today. We're gonna have Spirit Week this week because it's our last week of normal class that we've been doing so far. So we're gonna have a Spirit Week to celebrate. And so today's crazy hair day. Tomorrow is going to be, oh, you're gonna have to ask your parents because I can't remember. But I sent a list home to your parents. So if you want to do Spirit Day with us tomorrow, just have your parents tell you what's on the list for tomorrow. Okay? Be super fun. Okay, so today is, let's see. So today is Monday, May 18th, 2020. And we have been in school for 167 days. You guys are almost first graders. Can you believe it? Since you guys are almost first graders, I have a song I want you guys to learn, but it's going to be kind of a secret. Okay. I know it's kind of hard to keep secrets, but, so you know how we're going to kind of have a program for our parents? I'm going to send more details about that to your parents later, but we're going to sing a song to them called First Grade, and it goes like, you know that song that goes, shake it off, you know that song? Well, it's like that, but it has the words changed. So it's like, first grade, first grade. So I have the video on Google Classroom today, and also have another video that is me practicing. So make sure that you watch that so you know how to do that. We're gonna practice that song once every day this whole week, okay? As part of circle time, okay? All right, let's see. So our story today is about worms. So you know in science we're learning about animals? So this is our science book, and I'm going to go to the page that is about worms. It's called Worms in Soil. So it uses this word soil a lot. Soil is another word for dirt, and soil, dirt has a lot of things in it that helps plants grow, and worms help plants grow by making the soil better. So we're going to read a little bit about worms. All right. Let's get a little bit closer. Okay. Worms are animals. Where do you find worms? Do you know? These worms live in the soil. They get water and food from the soil. This is the book that we already read. Remember, that's why I'm not reading this page. Worms need air, space, and shelter too. They get what they need from the soil. Some worms live in compost piles. Can you see the worms on the plants and soil? Can you see them? They're kind of hiding in there. There's one. What are they doing? So compost is kind of like, it's kind of tricky to explain, but it's like old food. And so worms use that to eat. So they are eating in this dirt. That's what they're doing. Worms eat dead leaves and fruit. They turn old plant parts into soil. The new soil helps young plants grow. Some worms burrow deep in the soil. Others stay near the top. So here they are burrowing. Burrowing just means digging. So they go deep into the dirt. And it said that some go deeper than others. Have you guys ever seen a worm in the dirt? Damp leaves lie on top of the soil. Worms stay moist under the leaves. They also find food there. Worms have segments. Segments help the worms move. So segments are kind of like our roly-polies, how they have different parts of their bodies. Worms have segments too. They kind of look like, I don't know how to explain it, but you could see them. Oh, this is a better picture. Do you see how they kind of have little lines? The lines are different segments. Adult earthworms have a clitellum. The clitellum makes a case for worm eggs. Baby worms grow inside the eggs. That is a clitellum. So we don't have a lot of time to talk about worms, so I haven't had a lot of time to talk to you guys about those vocabulary words, but this is what helps the worms make more worms. A worm's skin is moist and smooth. Worms breathe through their moist skin. Some worms live on land. Some worms live in fresh water or salt water. Whoa, did you know that some worms can live in water? Crazy. How are these worms the same? How are they different? Okay, let's look at this picture up close. All right, how are these worms all the same? I noticed that their bodies are mostly the same. All their bodies are like long, kind of like a snake. I noticed something else the same. They all look moist, which means that they're kind of wet. They all look like that. Something that's different about them. What do you notice that's different? I noticed the color. Look, this one's red. That one's really different. Also, this worm looks so interesting. I don't know a lot about that worm, but it looks like it's sucking onto this leaf. So it looks like this worm has a sucker on it. Interesting. They kind of live in different, oh my goodness. Look at this worm. It kind of looks like it has legs. That is really interesting. And I would like to know more about that because I actually did not know worms could have legs. So I don't really know enough about that picture, but they are a little bit different, huh? A little bit the same and a little bit different. Also, they can live in different places. And then our book is now about isopods, which we already read. So we're all done about worms. Awesome. That was really cool to learn about worms. Okay, so you guys are working on your, for science, you're working on your terrarium. So in your terrarium, you should have snails and pill bugs, which are also called roly-polies. They can live together, okay? If you haven't put them together yet, you can put them together today. You can also add worms, okay? So you can find worms in the ground. If you, so if I was looking for worms outside, I would get the ground really wet in the dirt, and then I would dig in the dirt and I would probably find some. Or if you wait till it's raining, they like to come out on the sidewalk and then they kind of get stuck on the sidewalk, so you could grab them then. They like to come out at night because it's not as hot. You could also, if your parents want to, you can buy worms at the store. Did you know that? People use worms for hunting, for fishing. So there are worms in the fishing section at Walmart if your parents just want to buy you some, okay, that you can put into your habitat. And they can live in the dirt. So make sure in your habitat for them, you in the terrarium, you have dirt in there because they live in the dirt, okay? Awesome. Okay, friends, so today for school, we're going to be talking a little bit about worms. Science is going to be really short today because mostly it was reading that story. You're also going to write words that have the letter Y at the beginning. And you're going to, so we learned all of our sight words now. So now we're going to practice them. So it's not enough to learn the sight words once because most of us probably don't know all of the words yet. So this week we're going to practice just all the sight words that we don't know, okay? So since there's 50 of them, there's probably some of them that you don't know. So today you guys get to get on Spelling City and you're gonna practice your sight words on there, okay? If you know every single sight word, you don't have to do Spelling City, but I only know of one person that knows every single sight word, okay? So you're gonna have to talk to your parents about that. Okay, there's one thing we need to talk about for science, okay? There's a couple words that they use. So these are some words they're going to use for science today, and I have some videos that are going to help you. But the words are short, long, and tall. So short just means these are all things that compare different things with each other. So like if I said, oh man, I should have an example. Like this is shorter than this. Okay, so this is short because it's smaller. Smaller and short kind of mean similar things when you're talking about comparing numbers. And this one is taller. It means it's kind of like bigger, kind of like the word bigger. It means that, yeah, so this one's tall, this one's short. I'm sure you guys probably know that already because you guys are super smart. There is a difference between the word long and tall. Long talks about things that are like this way, mostly. Usually when you hear people talking about long, they're talking about things like, that snake was longer than the worm, okay? So you're talking about things that are longer. Usually when you talk about taller, you're talking about things that are this way, like, I am taller than my daughter, or that tree is taller than the bush, okay? They don't always mean that, but they usually mean something like that, okay? So, so short, tall, and long are some words that you need to know today. And there's some videos to help you do your math today. Awesome. Remember, you guys can send me a picture of your crazy hair. I would love to see it. And I hope you guys have a good crazy hair day and a good Monday. See you tomorrow.